So fast forward a year and a half from the last video, and Uncle Brad has a new house with a new shop. The shootout is 6 weeks away, and we really wanted to take the car to the shootout, but the shop was not ready to be worked in yet.
So we did what we had to and started on the engine right in the driveway.
Alright, so we're trying to get the engine out of the van, and right now we're taking the clutch and flywheel off so we can put it on our engine stand here. It came with, looks to be an ACT clutch with an organic disc. Some really interesting stuff on the flywheel. Yeah. So now we got to get it off.
We really don't know a lot about this engine, so we'll be finding out as we disassemble it. We're not far from the ground.
No, we're not. We're just gonna roll it out now.
Tip it?
Yeah, let's just tip it.
Where can I?
Yeah.
Just drop the tire.
Wow. That was pretty good. That was almost like we'd done this before. All right, it's out. Let's get our fish here. Here it is, our JDM Galant VR-4 engine, complete with a Cyclone intake manifold and the Mitsubishi cast JDM red valve cover. It also came with an Evo 316G turbo and a second gen DSM exhaust manifold. All right, now we're gonna clean this thing and get the manifolds off. Well, other order.
We're going to be putting this engine together race weekend in the pit style. We'll check everything to make sure it's okay, but we're limited on time. So as long as everything checks out, we'll run it. We know it's not the cleanest environment, but we're going to do our best to keep everything clean.
And here's our bucket of parts. Everything that came off. Now we need to clean it.
Yeah, I need some pizza.
Pizza!
HKS.
Oh, wow. It does say HKS. Look at these.
This is got some numbers scratched.
It does. Sweet. It's always nice. I think we'll keep them.
Okay.
Yeah. Finding a set of HKS 272 cams was a nice surprise, but we need to get the head off to make sure the rest of the engine is going to be okay to use. All right, let's pull this head off. Ready? 1, 2, 3. It's off. Okay, that
Put it over in this box.
Oh, yeah. It's a good spot. Smells like 30-year-old farts. Okay. That's a gasket. It's a head gasket.
Well, I know that. I meant that little funny loop.
Oh, that's a feature.
Oh, okay. That's something you pay for.
Yeah, that is. All right, well.
There's some carbon on them.
There's some carbon on them, but it doesn't look bad. There's no valve marks or valves. So that's good. That's a bonus. All right. Cool. Okay, we put the head back on because I want to clean it with it all together so we don't get junk down inside. So
You want to put a couple bolts in just to keep it together?
No, it'll be okay. But we'll put the valve cover back on just to keep it closed up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, this engine is filthy. We got to get it all nice and clean before we go any further. We'll use our go-to cleaners: pressure wash, simple green, and mineral spirits. This will keep us from getting covered in grease every time we touch it.
Now we're gonna flip it over, pop the pan off, and take a look at stuff in there. Yummy. All right, let's get that pan off.
That looks like it's going to take some effort.
Yeah. Yep. We removed the oil pan and popped the rod caps off to inspect the rod bearings and crank journals. Everything looks great, The bearings look to be ACL race bearings, so this has likely been rebuilt at some point. Next, we'll move on to cleaning the oil pan. It's clean and, sorry, it's wire wheeled. Now we're gonna clean it and then we'll paint it. We're just gonna touch up the paint on the back. It's in pretty good shape, just a couple spots that need touched up. There's all those. Yep. It's not cutting it.
That's just the beans, or
The beans. Ready?
Yep. Oh, am I supposed to turn it?
Well, I just didn't want to go real fast.
Oh. Squeeze a little.
I need to clean this oil. Ta-da!
Oh, that's keeping it on?
Yeah, it's attached to the oil pump.
Willing to move now.
Yeah, it should be.
It's just got some gasket sticking. Oh. With the front case and oil pan out of the way, we can clean up the gasket surfaces on the block. Next, we move into cleaning up the front case and oil pump.
So now we're gonna get the head apart and work on the head and clean it in the ultrasonic, and then we'll put it back together. So we're gonna do that. Getting the head completely stripped down will ensure everything gets cleaned out when we put it in the ultrasonic cleaner.
First to go in are all the parts of the head we're keeping. We have a new set of valve springs and retainers that will go in. Wow.
See, I think that's plenty long.
Okay.
Wow, look at that. That looks good.
These bolt heads look good. Gosh, it looks new. That's amazing.
Here's the head before and after a bath in the ultrasonic. It really does an amazing job.
We continued to clean up and paint anything we could fit in the cleaner. We were very happy with the results. Now we're going to get the head back together.
Let's do it. The valve seats didn't look that bad, but we're giving them a quick lap to make sure we have a great seal. The valves are lapped, so now we're just gonna rinse it off to get the in case there's any compound on anything. We don't want that in anything, so we're gonna clean the valves in the head again. Woo!
Next comes a new set of valve stem seals. Then we'll move on to installing a set of Evo 8 valve springs and retainers. These are a solid upgrade for this engine.
The new valves and springs and retainers are in. It's looking good. Everything we got to seal real nice after we lapped the valves. Looking good under there. Now we'll move on to the lifters, rockers, and cams. Is the head assembled. Looks a lot better than how it started. Yeah, look at that. Looks great. All right, now we're gonna put the seals in the freshly cleaned front case. We're making sure to align the oil pump gears, since we're keeping the balance shafts on this engine. All right, let's put the oil pan back on.
Okay. Before we put it back on, we're going to touch up the paint on the oil pan. And while we let it dry, we can install the front case onto the engine.
With the pan dry, we can install the oil pickup and torque the pan on. Next, we'll mask off and paint the block with grill paint to give it a new OEM look. All right, now we're going to take this tape off, clean up the deck surface, and get ready to put the head on and the studs.
Head on.
Yeah. But now we're gonna do cool stuff. Head studs.
Bolts and studs.
Bolts and studs and stuff and studs.
We picked up a set of ARP head studs. Not totally necessary for a 16G, but it's cheap insurance to make sure the head stays tight on the block.
Head gasket. Here you go. Did you do the honors? Wow. Hey, we got the right size gasket. All right, head gasket's on. Now we'll go get the head. All right. There we go. It's on. With the head in place, we can apply some ARP lube to the threads and torque the nuts on in the sequence laid out in the factory service manual. Head's totally on. Nice. All right, we're gonna install the water pump.
Bomba de agua.
Bomba de agua on the block. All right, here we go.
The engine is coming together nicely. After the water pump, we can put on the water pipe, cam angle sensor, the thermostat housing, and sensors on the engine. Now that we can use the shop, we'll move Vic inside and continue the build in there.
All right, we're here with the engine, and we're gonna put the timing together and the rest of the front side parts. Here are the two Woodruff keys to
can see the one on the right.
We're not exactly sure how it happened, but it looks like the keyway on the crankshaft chewed its way through the timing belt sprocket and wallered it out. We won't be using any of the pulleys that were on the crankshaft.
We're using the Gates timing belt kit because it's cheap and readily available, and we've never had a problem with any of these parts. With the timing belt done and everything torqued, we can install the cover.
That's it for this episode. In the next one, we'll finish putting everything that's left on the engine and prep the chassis. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it.
Rolls pretty good.
Yeah, we really should put air in the tire.
Yeah, we always say that. We always move stuff and then it's like, oh, we should have put air in the tire.
Put air in the tire.
All right, Vic's in the shop.
Vic is in the shop.
All right, let's get to work. Let's get to work.